thing, you point out in the very beginning of your argument that the trial court here found that Becky Hill was not credible. Now that's a soft statement. That's almost like Richard Nixon or Bill Clinton, whoever it was, said mistakes were made. Here, if Becky Hill is not credible, it's not because she didn't see it, it's not because she doesn't remember it, it's because she's a liar. Is that right?
I would say that ultimately she said she was not completely credible, and yes, sir.
So there's only one way that Becky Hill can be not credible, and that is that she is a liar.
I think that Justice Toll did not credit parts of her testimony as she looked at everything. Now, she didn't specifically find that she is a liar, but ultimately she didn't credit that testimony. But what I think is important is that neither Justice Toll nor the state relies on Becky Hill. What we rely on is what is most important, and that is the 11.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on WLTX Plus. On this Wednesday evening, I'm Erica Glover. Christy Calcagno has the evening off. For our extended coverage right now, we are turning to what's happening with our South Carolina Supreme Court, because just a few hours ago, the justices, they heard arguments for the appeal of Alex Murdaugh's murder convictions. And right there, we just shared a long clip of Creighton Waters. He's with the state prosecution and was responding to questions about former clerk of court Becky Hill, whose credibility and misconduct are a big part of this appeal. So sitting beside me right now is attorney Brian Shealy. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
So I know we had the chance to speak during our Friends at 5 broadcast, but I want to start by asking you to talk about what you heard today. Did anything take you by surprise or stand out the most?
Yeah, I mean, Erica, it was really just the Supreme Court justices using the words that a lot of lawyers who are familiar with the jury trial process are thinking about Becky Hill, that she went rogue. And, hearing the justices describe her conduct as such is just, you don't normally hear that regarding a court official. So that struck me as, a big deal right off the bat. And then all in agreement, both the defense, the justices, and Creighton Waters for the state, that her conduct was beyond the pale.
Mm-hmm. And you talked about Becky Hill. We also heard from attorney Dick Karputlian, who talked about the financial gain aspect of her case. Can you kind of talk about that?
Right. I mean, this was not inadvertent communication with jurors. And I think the defense's position, which has been well established, was that she felt personally that a guilty verdict, a conviction, would sell her books better, and she was writing a book. And so that was really the motive for her to try to influence the jury. And I think, with her current convictions for misconduct and also acknowledging perjury before former Chief Justice Toll, I think it's clear that she did wrong.
When I had the chance to speak with you a couple of weeks ago, you talked about the precedent that this case could set. Right.
I mean, we only have one case in South Carolina that really addresses jury tampering. Really and truly, there's some bigger cases on the national scene, but this kind of real deliberate attempt to influence a jury just doesn't happen. Our criminal justice system is really good and it's really fair. And so when you have a state official like Becky Hill do this kind of conduct, to words that are incited to convince a jury about how they should feel, as opposed to their own independent deliberations, it is very unique. And so this case will have precedent if the Supremes decide that this can be abided. Then we'll have real problems, in my opinion, moving forward with jury trials in the state of South Carolina.
We really love having your expertise. So you're going to be staying with us. You're also going to be answering questions, because we know it's a very complicated process with so many moving legal parts. And so if you have a question, there's something that you can do. Take a look here at your screen. You can text your questions to this number. It is 803-776-9508. Again, it's 803-776-9508. And then our attorney here, Brian Shealy, he is on hand. He is going to be answering all of your questions, so make sure you share those questions with us. Right now, though, we are going to check back in over in the Weather Center with our meteorologist, Brianna Mallory. Hey there, Brianna.